Alright. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Necronomicon. I've seen all the videos on YouTube, but there's not really many there, and it kind of left me disappointed. So I figured if I can't find any, I'll do one myself. The Necronomicon history was origined by Abdul al-Hazred, an Arab who, a mad Arab obviously, everybody knows this. He wandered the desert in search of some higher thing, and he came across the Nameless City. In the Nameless City, he learned a vast many things. And because they tormented his mind so much, he wrote them in a book. This book, the Necron, can you see that? The Necronomicon. The Necronomicon. But because he wrote it, many things were after him, apparently. And he ran from city to city, trying to escape these things, until, well, eventually they found him. They ate him. They killed him, or he went insane from the mere presence of such things. Either way, he probably killed himself too. Either way, he's dead. That's the history, right, of Abdul al-Hazred. But the Necronomicon itself has been passed through the ages. It was in John Dee's hands, apparently. It was in Leonardo da Vinci's, only partly. Uh, I keep hearing that it was in Aleister Crowley's hands. Uh, Many other people throughout history I can't even regard. Maybe some presidents, you know. But a lot of people think that because Aleister Crowley had it, he passed some of this knowledge on to Sonia Green, perhaps, and she married H.P. Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft himself was he was a great author, but he didn't make that much money. He only barely lived on what he made. He wrote weird tales, and even though he was probably one of the best authors in my opinion, not at the time. Not many people saw him that way at the time, you know. And then until he eventually built up a following over the past few years, I guess. I'm not sure on that. And his Necronomicon, or Abdul al-Hazred's, perhaps, it became the most popular book in history, in our history, not a fictional history. But who's to say what exists? You know, it might not. It might. Either way, we're all doomed. Anyway, human civilization is a fickle thing. You know. But if it did exist, it wouldn't exist on our plane, would it? It would exist, perhaps, in the Akashic records. And from here, someone like Mr. Aleister Crowley, in my opinion, could gain access to it. So maybe, if there was an Al-Hazred, maybe he went into an opium trance or some form of drug trance and sought it in the Akashic records. And maybe he just wrote it out what was there already, you know? Besides, thought makes everything bumble and be thrown into the Akashic records. So, in my mind, it exists. But as for Lovecraft, because if you can't just associate Necronomicon itself, Lovecraft and the Necronomicon are intertwined. Lovecraft himself was a very strange man, even by my standards. He hated almost all people, and yet he married a Jew, and a Jew was his best friend. He despised Jews. You can tell how much he hated people by his story, The Horrid Red Hook. Was that the name of it? Yes. Yeah, that's the name. But, I don't know. Lovecraft is... I just can't get enough of hearing about Lovecraft, though. He's just so different. I mean, if you had even become close to a Lovecraft type archetype, you would have to come towards Edgar Allan Poe. That archetype is like so almost close on different regards, of course, but they're just like almost the same in the writing, at least, because Lovecraft liked Edgar Allan Poe. He's his successor. Edgar Allan Poe has only one successor, in my opinion, and that's Lovecraft. Because, well, find out for yourself. Read Lovecraft, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm sure you've been wondering about this, haven't you? Looking at this big book? Well, before I go on any further, or can find anything to say, this is my Necronomicon. I'm tired of seeing people's Necronomicons. Tired of seeing books like in the 70s when they made Necronomicons a lot, but they weren't that good. They were craply thrown together. Sigils didn't make any sense. Ritual symbols, just crap. Not me. Not me. Well, you can't see that, can you? Can you see that? Anyway, I have been doing research on making my Necronomicon for quite some time. Nearly a year and a half. I let you look, but it's not even close to being finished. You know, I could never make nobody, and as Lovecraft said himself, nobody could come close to writing a Necronomicon because they'd all be disappointed. Everyone would be disappointed because they're hoping to be going insane by such a book, which is stupid because they go look for it. But I have been doing what others have not. I have been taking stuff from uh, his works, such as the old ones and stuff like that, and I have been mixing it with ritual magic and names of God like tetragrammaton. I can't even pronounce that word. I can't again. And Sumerian, mixing Sumerian in, and a whole shitload of uh, mythos from Lovecraft himself, quotes from Lovecraft, a little bit of my own writing thrown in, obviously, some nonsensical language a bit, drawings, naturally, and stuff like that. I can't show you though. You might go insane. You might go insane. Well, I basically just wanted to touch up on the Necronomicon. I had no plans on doing a series, no plans at all. But perhaps one day I will. Maybe I'll do a series on either Lovecraft or the Necronomicon, because it's pretty rich if you think about it. You could find some rich stuff in the Necronomicon's history if you really, really look for it. But I find no appeal in looking for it now. I have no attention just of yet to try. Besides, I don't even have that many subscribers. There's no point. This little baby That's my baby. Beautiful candle holder, in my opinion. The Necronomicon. This has been fun, really fun to talk about. I couldn't really hold on to it too long because I couldn't think of anything more to say. But um, I'll probably think of something right after this. But it's been fun talking, at least to myself, apparently. Well, that's all I got. This is Maverick. Good night, and dine well.